Sponsored by AC Designs.
All right, folks, about ready to throw a bunch of numbers at you, but if you're trying to figure out, well, just what are we trying to deal with here, think of it tomorrow as a storm that has the intensity of a strong tropical storm lasting about 3 or 4 hours, if that makes sense. Let's take a look. Here's the weather map. This is where the lowest pressure is of this large storm system, and we're talking about blizzard conditions off to the north and northeast of it, and then ice and freezing rain. This is the squall line developing on the backside of the range. So this is the leading edge of the rain that we have, and it's not until we get that final wind shift that we're going to have the strongest winds. Here's where it's going to be or should be, and I think this computer model is doing a pretty good job. Tomorrow morning at 6:30, so just before sunrise, the squall line and the highest risk of damaging winds and isolated tornadoes will be from the Florida Panhandle to about Atlanta. Flyers out of Jax, keep that in mind. That could really cause some major delays in Atlanta. And then the squall line continues to work to the east. Now, yes, we will, of course, be keeping a close watch to see if there's any isolated tornadoes. But because of the solid nature to the squall line, even if you don't receive a isolated tornado near you, most of us will still get gusts to over 60 miles per hour. That's the term for severe. And normally once we get up to about 60, then we have some isolated wind damage. Compared to normal strong storms, we typically use the wording possible damage. But we think with this system, there will be wind damage. Primarily, we're talking about tree branches and debris, but still enough widespread to cause some power outages as well. Notice I'm also highlighting downtown Jacksonville at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning because, well, that's when the river will be highest, but with strong southerly winds, that will probably cause some splashover at Memorial Park's river wall up until about the noon hour, and then southwest winds will shift out to San Marco later on. As far as the highest risk of tornadoes and highest winds, those of you where the storms are closest to coming out of the Gulf, Columbia, Baker, Union, and Bradford between 1 and 4. Next in line, those of you up toward the Okefenokee. Southeastern Georgia as well, because of those strong southerly winds, maybe some splashover due to high tides down around St. Mary's and also the coastal areas of Glenn County. Duval, the highest wind risk between 2 and 5. Widespread gusts to 60, maybe some isolated gusts to 75. Then we taper the numbers down a bit and make the exit time a little bit later for those of you off to the south. We may see another storm system blow through about Friday.
Okay, all right, thank you.